Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Tsukiomi-chan, and I'm terribly sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Now, he is in the Fujin, a tier 5 premium Japanese destroyer. He's on the map Big Race in a standard battle. Well, there are 2 carriers and only 1 destroyer. Now, it's low tier, so you don't expect people to be very experienced. We will see if the 2 carriers come hunting for him or not. But I can already tell you this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime battle. And it's going in here for a quick hack with a battleship. I mean, even in the midst of a battle, there is always time for some love. But yeah, as I was saying, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime battle. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but you know, be prepared to be amazed. So anyway, we have quite a large force here, and we've already lost 3 friendly ships, so pretty bad start to a game. But I mean, there is still a lot of ships remaining. And this Congo it looks like he's currently flooding or burning. So yeah. In the north, it's almost equal, like the enemy team has a destroyer up there and the friendlies don't, but the Nicholas isn't like the best torpedo boat, so we will find out how that plays out. Meanwhile, our Fujin is just around here trying to torpedo things. Now we have an Emerald here who could potentially try to smoke up and maybe torp something or stop that approach. But he will need some spotting. Carrier is currently doing that. Carrier is helping out here. And I mean, if those ships all push into those islands, they are prime target for torpedoes. So our Fujin here might have a word to say about the enemy push. But the Emerald goes down. So that just leaves the Mugi. We have an Iron Duke here in the backline. No idea what this guy's doing. But, well, I mean, in the current position, I guess it's too late to push forward for him. Or, I don't know. Now, torpedoes are on the way, and we might get some hits against this Kaiser here. Indeed. So there is the first kill, already up to like 48,000 points of damage. Not too shabby in tier 5. And still a lot of game left. Now the friendlies are still 2 ships behind, and it looks like the enemy is pushing the north there. Also, last defender here on this corner has just been taken down. And we see like a lot of ships have been farmed around here so far. Now we have an Omaha pushing around. Looks like the Omaha does not have Hydro, which is pretty neat, because that means he doesn't see those storms coming. And we are up to 2 kills. So that still leaves around 3 ships pushing this flank, I guess. Well, will they be pushing, or are they now afraid of torpedoes? I guess we will find out. Now we have the Kuma coming in here to... Well, maybe they're trying a flanking maneuver around this island. We will see. The north is still valiantly defending against the enemy push. So not much has happened there. And we have some blind torps. I mean, we know a Kuma is coming around here. The torps reload very quickly on the Fujin, so there are a lot of times when you can just be a bit more risky with your torps.
Concentrate fire on the target.
And he was currently just busy chatting and devastating striking somebody while doing so. Now he is being pushed by a cruiser here, and yeah, the enemy tried to come around both islands, but well, one of those ships is already down. Now the smoke is almost over, which means he can't just sit here in his smoke and torp this guy. But the enemy ship is pretty low on health and is pretty close, so he's going for it. I mean, not really, anyway, at this point. So spreading out his torps a little bit, and now obviously going for it again. It looks like the enemy is dodging. But maybe you can... Well, okay, never mind, he's not dodging. Well, that brings us up to the 4th kill. Now, meanwhile, the enemy is heavily pushing into the cap. There is still one enemy remaining on this flank, but let's ignore that for now, because there are much more immediate problems. And the problem is the enemy force pushing in here. Now, the friendly battleship that has valiantly been defending the cap has finally been taken down. But don't worry, Fujin's on the way. Maybe could try to top this way, but I don't think the enemy is going to sail into the 7-kilometer range here. So let's just engage the cap instead. Now the enemy doesn't have the destroyer capping currently, it looks like, because they're making very little progress. I think it's just the October Revolution who is just getting reset. So torps are on the way in case the October Revolution pushes in here. And, well, we have a carrier incoming. Now the carrier is spotting him, which means now the enemy knows his position. Not ideal, but it's not like the carrier is interested in him. I mean, with the low tier torpedo bombers, it's unlikely he could do much against the destroyer anyway. But it looks like the October Revolution has decided to not sail into torps, which is a shame. But the enemy is getting pretty low. We don't know exactly where the Nicholas is, but considering that there's a smoke screen... Well, I mean, okay, we know where the Nicholas is. So 99 hit points, which means one salvo is all it takes. So he's waiting until he has cleared the island, shells are on the way, and now we are going to just hope this October Revolution too. Yeah, at those ranges there isn't much the enemy battleship can do, and that's a double strike. Now he's got himself the truck in a double strike, up to 6 kills, and... Well, next up we might have a renamed user. Now the carrier came in for a strike there, so he is actually using his smoke here to disappear. The anti-air is off, and like... Well, the enemy got a hit anyway. Thing is, if you're in smoke, you could try to turn your anti-air on, but the shell traces are a very good indication where you are. So keep in mind in a destroyer, if you're hiding in smoke from a carrier and your anti-air is on, the carrier will be very... Well, it will be rather easy for the carrier to find you, actually strike you. And I mean, the Fujin anti-air is pretty pathetic. You don't expect to shoot down a plane anyway. So... The renamed user over there is... Well, it's not a name that inspires confidence, and he is confidently sailing in a straight line into those torps, it looks like. So, well, that would be number 7. And you know, this game is currently looking pretty good. But you know, I mean, the Omaha is pretty low. I guess the carriers could just focus down our destroyer here. And Tsukiyomi-chan seems to be pretty happy in chat there. Which is understandable. So, I mean, the friendly carriers are somewhat cornered, but there is still a defensive force here that should be sufficient to take care of the battleship. But I mean, I don't know, is there a world where the battleship can do something? I mean, the Omaha and the Iron Duke are almost down, and then there is the Gangut who is on pretty low health. So, well, I mean, technically this guy could just sink them one by one, and there are still the carriers there. And then the enemy could come around and take care of the carriers, and then the enemy carriers could farm the destroyer. But I mean, this is all a rather very theoretical analysis, and we all know that enemy is probably eating torps. Or is he? Well, I mean, he's dodged those, so why not go in for the charge? I mean, Fujin has definitely tasted blood so far, and he just wants more. I mean, we're up to 7, so why not go for it? It's certainly not every day that you sink 8 ships. So torps are on the way. At this range there isn't much that the enemy battleship can do to dodge. And will the torps hit? Yes, they will. So high caliber and Confederate. And well, it looks like the enemy carrier is currently going for torpedo. Well, I mean, there are also rocket planes there. Now the friendly ships are all trying to huddle together here in a desperate attempt to get enough anti-air going, and it looks like it's working. Because, well, yeah, the cruiser is still pretty low, so is the battleship. Now, meanwhile, our Fujin is going for the enemy carriers. I mean, he could try to go cap, but the carriers would probably interrupt him. They won't smoke. It's, I think, not enough for them. So let's speed it up a little bit while he is hunting some carriers. Now he has RPF here. Well, I mean, it's a premium ship, so he's using a very experienced captain. And that means it's easy to find the carriers, and the friendly carriers have spotted them too. So now comes our charge. And I think we might just be close enough that I can go to regular speed again. And we will see how this engagement turns out. Now at this point he could turn his anti-air back on. But I don't think he's thinking about any of this right now. All that he can see is a lot of tasty areas. Now he has some long-range torps on the way. I mean, you'd usually expect the carrier to dodge those, but it's like the torps reload so quickly that there is no reason to just keep the torps until you're closer. And the carriers are obviously desperately trying to defend themselves. Not sure why he's going for torpedo bombers here, but you know that would be one carrier who didn't quite dodge. And it looks like the other carrier might just be going to beach himself there. Yeah, I mean, like, you just don't have enough torpedo drops in one drop to really threaten a destroyer at this tier. Well, it looks like that carrier is dodging the torps, but you see, torps are almost reloaded again, and this time he's really beaching. So friendly carriers are also getting in on the fun, and the other friendly ships are just too... Well, actually, that Omaha is... Why is that Omaha still sitting there? I guess he's too afraid of getting sunk. Which wouldn't matter at this point anyway. Ram him. Now I think he's just going to torp him. Here we are with the results. Tsukumi-chan earned himself 2,281 base experience. Very nicely done for a tier 5 battle, I have to say. He achieved 4 devastating strikes, a Confederate, a double strike, a Kraken, a high caliber, and he sunk 10 enemy ships. So I guess technically a double Kraken, but unfortunately the game only awards 1, I guess. So yeah, this was an amazing battle. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you guys next time.